Hi and welcome to Tweet Street. I'm Mick Tiffany and I'm a novice lizard canary keeper and breeder. Join me on my journey as I strive to breed birds good enough for the show bench. Well, hello everybody again, episode 25 of Tweet Street. What's been happening this week in the aviary and bird room? Well, there's always one is one of the sections, and I'm sure you've all got one in your aviary. There's always one bird in the nest that does things before everybody else, and there's one in the aviary that's doing it before everybody else, and he started moulting. And I say a he because he started also singing. He seems to be well ahead of himself. So there's a little chat about moulting. Then we've got beautiful bather, the Napoleon Weaver taking a bath. Managed to get the camera in. Got a camera in and let all the young birds out, all the young lizards as well into the aviary to get. So it's been nice sunshine today. And did I get a video? No, buggery. They just landed on the camera, tilted the camera, everything out of focus. Cheers, kids. And then the weekly roundup. What's going on with the rest of the birds, and we've had a little bit of movement around, and that's where we are this week. So let's see what we'll start with. So we'll start off with premature molt, probably by a little bit. I haven't reduced the hours of the lighting in the aviary, but outside we've had odd weather, some cold snaps. At the moment it's nice. I've got a photo here of, I think it's called Facelia. It's in one of the fields. They tend to use it, rotate the crops, and it fertilises it for the following year, for crops the following year. But when I go into the aviary now, I'm seeing this on the floor, some sweepings up of feather, and that's coming from one bird in particular. That's one of our young birds, 003, the third bird I rung this year. So he's one of the first to fledge. Now, there's lots of different roles of plumage. When these guys fledge, they get a quick coat of feathers just to get out of the nest, get to safety. The young fledglings will have less feathers than the adult birds, and in their first molt, which this one has took on himself to start now, they will then get that more adult set of feathers. So they'll get more feathers and a better quality set. In the wild, they could be used for migrating, so they would need a fresh set of feathers. They get wear and tear. The birds jump on the floor, they scrape on the floor, they can go through bushes, trees and stuff. Obviously they can get the feathers get tatty, so they get a fresh set. Sometimes, obviously, like the Napoleon Weaver, he just gets a set because he wants to look good. He wants his posh coat of feathers just to show his good lady how good he looks in his new suit, and he will then change back. Not many birds have 2 molts a year, but he does. He's just greedy, but it does take a lot out of them. They're losing all their feathers and then replacing them. It's quite something. So, but in the Canary, as you can see from this young one, he's losing a fair bit off the chest, and the breast is coming through nice and gold. We'll have to see what those markings look like when he's completed. They're called rowings in a lizard canary. On the back, that's called spangling, and we want those feathers to look like lizard scales, hence the term lizard canary. So that's what we're looking for. Now I've got some stills here, just of the wings really, just to have a quick look at the wings. We've firstly got the primary feathers. There's 9, there's one short one, and then the other 8 are longer. Then we've got the primary coverts that cover over where those wing feathers join into the body, or the wing, and then the secondary feathers and the greater coverts that cover those. And you can see in this bird, it was them that are slowly coming through at the moment. And I can also hear the birds singing away, the young birds, just about hear it if I'll keep quiet. But of course, as soon as I get near the door, they all bloody stop, don't they? But there's a few in there trying to get their voice. It'll stop now. You walk in silence. This is where cameras will be useful. I can try and see the ones that are singing. 99% of the time, the singers will be the male birds. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for as well. So when they molt out, we see there is another way of. Andy Beasley sent me a text last night and said there's another way of sexing the birds that looks really interesting. I shall try that. I should need the use of my wife to hold the camera, and we'll try that maybe for next week. I'll see if I can get that done. Thanks for that, Andy. That was brilliant. So obviously it's an important time, and my phone's gone off. You wouldn't add or leave it, would you? Okay, we're back. The phone has been answered politely, just about. So in the aviary, the bird's been I've given some pak choy. The other day managed to get some. I hate going shopping. I can't tell you how bad it does me cocoa in. But they had some pak choy, so I knew the birdies would like them. Also got some spinach as well, which, so I can alternate. But these are the young ones. Really, really enjoying it. It's good to see. And I like also having the camera above. I mentioned about the molt and the spangling, the feather pattern and formation on the back of the birds. Now, won't be quite evident yet until they go through their molt. But when it's a good idea. If I had a smaller cage and had the phone above, I could get some nice photos of the backs of those birds, so I can kind of match them against each other, ready for when the competition come round, and I can see which ones I think are good, which ones I think aren't so good. I should probably send them off to somebody like Andy Beasley, maybe Stan Bowen. Stan helps me a lot as well. Just to say, guys, which one do you think I should be paying close attention to for the show programme? Like I say, I've only got 8 cages at the moment, which reminds me, I've got a couple I've got to paint, refix some of the bits on it, so there's always something to do. Life is just so busy for me at the moment, on top of the hobby. It's crazy. And on the subject of that, I read today that Matt Howard is going to stop doing the Canary Room. If you watch that, that's a fantastic. He's done 7 seasons, and I've learnt so much off of Matt. I don't think he watches, but if you do, you're a top man. I'm hoping to get a couple of pairs off of Matt later in the year, if he can remember to save me some. That'd be brilliant. And which is sad, and I've also missed other things, like the guys in New South Wales. I meant to do a bit on their show and stuff like that, and I've not got round to doing all that yet, and I'm just way behind on stuff. I've got so much in my personal life, guys. I am sorry about that. I'll try and make it up to you. And what I do plan also to do is to get things sorted out, ready for if I do this next year, which I'd probably like to do. I quite enjoy doing it. Probably go into more detail about what I've been doing and things, and try not to. I rush these episodes out because all this technology is new to me, and so I'm rushing around trying to get stuff done. I think I'll be a bit more settled if I was to do a year 2. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully my personal life will be a bit more settled with people in hospital every 2 minutes and stuff like that. I'll have more time to do stuff. So that's the plan. As we all know what plans end up like. So these are the birds. They're enjoying these young birds. You can see that some of them are really nice. I did have 12 that I separated, and I was going to colour feed 12. These guys were not going to be colour fed, okay? But there was one amongst this lot I thought was really special, so I hooked that one out, and that's got another colour fed one. You can see that one. That's one of there's 2 cockbirds in there, and they'll be flying around, and I like doing that. As long as they don't pester them, feather pluck, that kind of thing, it's great, because they're going to teach these youngsters what to do. So they're the first ones that go down on the food, and the others see what to do, and they do the same. So when they're outside in the aviary, it's them, the adult birds, that go and have the bath first, and then of course the young ones, they follow. It's a training thing, and they soon pick it up. But they know their food. I've got the young razors. I've got 7 young razors, and they're all getting on really, really well. I'm very impressed with the Raza Canaries on the chicks, how they get on with things. That'll be nice to see them come through. And some of them are losing some feather, probably just getting a few feathers out. I don't think they're going down for another. They took the nest pan out, so they can't go down for more. But they are nice little birds. Didn't plan to keep them for next year. But if you're a bird keeper, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you just want more, you don't want less. And also I've got those two that Bob Snedden gave me, the 2 5 canaries, which I weren't going to breed with. And he's not keen on having them back. He was looking after them for someone else who didn't want them. Now, what I did plan to do, and this could be something you could maybe take up, I'd have to get insurance to do it, but I was going to do something like birds for the brain. I took my father to a care home last year for respite for a couple of weeks, and while I was there, I went a few times, and I was chatting to one of the other residents, and he was a local canary breeder, or was, and of course he's in a care home. He now can't have canaries, and I'm thinking, wouldn't it be lovely just to take a bird in a cage, a male bird like the 2 5s are, once in a while, just to put it down. We'll probably have to tie wrap some of the doors and the openings of the thing, just in case they, because some of the guys had dementia there, because they forget things. And wouldn't it be nice for those happy memories? Because every time I speak to people about canaries, I work in a hospital, I'm chatting to people, the patients all the while, and as soon as I mention, they say, what do you do as a hobby? I say, I breed canaries. They all smile, and they all know someone that had a canary, a budgie, a zebra finch, something, a parrot, whatever it be, and they all smile. Always brings back happiness and joy, and that's really something that we need to try to promote. So I'm thinking maybe I can try and get some second-hand cages, pop some, a canary in, and take it around some care homes and stuff like that. So that was the cunning plan. I have sent off an email to one of the local companies to ask them if that's a thing to do, but no doubt I'd have to get insurances and stuff, so that costs, and that's going to have to wait a short time. But anyway, that's what I thought. So let me know your views on that. We're all around the world. We can help people out by doing this. It's not just attracting young people, it's reminding the older folk what they had in their happier times and their happier memories. So it's one thing I've had planned for some time, and hopefully if that goes ahead, that could be brilliant. So that'd be like birds for the brain, just to help people relive their happy memories from years ago. So outside in the aviary, I'll put some more pots of grasses in, and put them around the bath. The finches, the Napoleon Weavers, and the canaries that are out there. Got a couple of hens out there, just getting back to nice fitness. Really enjoyed them long grasses. Maybe next year I might get a tray, try and get a lot more grown. That really gives them some interest in the aviary, not just sitting on a perch looking. Gives them some interest. And so I thought, well, I'll put this bath and I'll try and get a bit of footage of the birds having a bath. It's not as easy as you think. Like I say, I tried it with the lizard canaries, and they just landed on the camera and knocked it out of kilter. It wouldn't focus, so it was there for 3 hours and recorded absolutely bugger all. But the day previous, I had these guys, and he's a stunning looking bird now. He's just trying to entice his missus into the bath, bless him. I'm sure it'll work. But like I say, he's had his new set of feathers, isn't he? He's molting twice a year, this guy. And he wants to make them look good. He's not into dry cleaning. He's read the label. They want a wet bath. So I'll put those pebbles in, because some of the young birds, when they come out, in fact, I had one of the adult birds. He came out and he jumped in when it was too deep, and he was struggling to get out of the bath, so I had to go in the aviary to pluck him out and dry him off. So I'll put those pebbles in, and every couple of days I'll just give them a good old rinse and make sure the water's fresh. And it's really, really lovely to see. Look at him. I'd have to try and get maybe a bit closer, but obviously I don't want to get too much water on the phone. They are waterproof phones nowadays, but obviously you won't be able to focus through the splash onto the camera. But it's just nice to see them doing their thing. I love it. I love to see things like this. When you look at things like Napoleon Weavers on YouTube or on the internet, there's not much footage around of them. And there must be, in the wild, there's millions of the bloody things. So, it's just nice to see what they do, their day-to-day life. and it's really nice to see them. Just simple things, taking a bath. They'll jump in here a couple of times a day. Hence, this is why obviously you need to keep the water as clean as possible. She's not so keen. She doesn't need a new coat of feathers, but she thinks, do I need a bath? She should do. It gets all, keeps them clean, keeps the feathers in good nick. And there she goes. Will she have a proper bath? No, of course not. But she's looking really good, as you can see. Now the male bird will look just like that. They're identical virtually in a few weeks' time when he molts again back. What I have done in the aviary, I've put 6 wicker nest pan basket type things in very different places. They tend to nest lower down near the floor, but like I say last week, they tend to like more of the same, so that we'd need probably maybe half a dozen, 8 or more of these weavers before they probably might want to breed. Maybe somebody else knows different, I don't know, but that's what I've gleaned from the internet so far, if you're trying to breed. So just in case they do fancy doing something, would be lovely. And when these guys, the eggs hatch really quick. The chicks are out the nest in a flash. They'll knock a week off the time it takes a canary to jump out of a nest. These guys are pretty good and pretty quick at what they do. It's lovely to see. As you can see, she's now having a bit of a bath. The old man's got a coat. She's got to go out as well. She's got to put a bit of lippy on before she goes out, and she's looking lovely. So inside the aviary, birds are looking good. The beaks are getting nice and dark, as are the legs and feet, which is the intention of the Polygonum. As you can see, I just took a nice photo of this one, and he's looking very, very good on that side of things. And we'll have to see how that goes. So this quick scan now, there was 2 birds in that one because they were singled off last week, but I popped another one out I really liked. So there's 13 now that are receiving the Carafil Red in there. You'll have to excuse it doesn't focus through the bars very well. It's a real nuisance. Better time I had some technology that knew what I wanted to do and it could mind read. But these will start molting shortly. I'll probably reduce the lighting in a couple of weeks' time anyway. This is the one I plucked out. I thought was really nice. It doesn't do it justice because I can't focus very well through there. The autofocus just plays up. But we'll see how that one gets on anyway. So I've got 13. My mistake, 13. There's one looking quite nice. Almost clear cap. Really nice bird. There's a broken cap. Another nice one. These are the first 12 or 13, or actually first 12 that hatched and were fledged. So they're the older birds. So next year I should know that the ones that are gold or silver are the ones that are fledged first, which just helps for next year. There's, I'll say, the young razors. I said how well they were doing. Look at him having a chomp on that bit of pat choy. Nice looking birds. Really, they've gone ever so well. This was a poorly bird. She's much better now. Getting strength built up. She'll be out in the aviary some point when I think she's well enough and I don't think she's contagious anymore. I said that was one of the forests we had the plans with. Now this young lady has got 2 and they're both clear cap. Look at that, beautiful. I think I've got a still photo of these coming up later. And there's the other 5. They don't get on well. I want to put both 5s in the same cage. They just fight like the clappers, which was a bit of a nuisance. She's sitting on 2 eggs. That will be the last ones. I don't want any more after these. There's 3 sitting at the minute. And then this is the final 3. There's the one that's going through the molt. You can already see the colour of the gold coming through. It just looks a bit scrappy because it's part way through. And that one at the top, that's a sibling, hasn't started. So it just goes to show how some are that far ahead. So then we've got 2 sitting on eggs. That's Mariah and Mariah's daughter. Both sitting on eggs. I'm not sure if they're all fertile. I only saw one that looked like it was going to be fertile. The cages underneath are now made into one long flight. So this flight's about just over 6 foot long, probably longer. Well, it's 2 meters. That's what it is. 2 meters long. All right. And then I could take that panel out on the right hand side for them to go into the aviary, which I do, so they can get some proper flight time in the sun. A couple of cock birds at the bottom, just separating them. Don't want them missing anything else. There's the pair of razors with the 4 young. they're doing well. The nest pan's been removed now, and there's another couple of cock birds in there. They seem content. They're not scrapping, which is fine. So, and there's a photo of those two young in that nest. I said they were clear cap, which is nice. I haven't got many clear caps at the moment, so it'll be nice to have them in there. And so they'll be possibly, it won't be. They'll almost be the last chicks, but we'll see how they go. But they won't be colour fed. I'll let them go natural. And then next year, that I can identify them quite quickly as birds that I can put down later in the year. I'd like to sort of just see if that makes a difference. I'm sure it will, and we'll see how we get on. So that's it really for this week. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I've had to rush it a little bit because there's a football match tonight. I was an England Football Club member. I had loads of hair when I was, but look at it now. The rubbish really. But they managed to get to a final, and I'm going to go down and have a couple of beers and watch that. Wish me all the best, even you guys up in Scotland. Come on, we need your support on this one. You know I'm talking to. And yeah, I hope everything's going well with your birds. If you're here for the first time and you've enjoyed me waffling on, please subscribe, like, share, and then when future episodes come out, you'll know. That'll be brilliant. So yeah, just take care everybody and have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.